Welcome to RGB, your weekly podcast where we discuss the latest technology news, cool gadget, product reviews, new apps, and great workflows. This week, we discuss the next iPhone, a couple of new apps, and one that got a fresh coat of paint. And for the first time, Coffee Corner. All right, so this week we had a new design for a very popular app, one that we probably are all using at the moment. Instagram got a new refresh. So, as they usually do with these kind of refresh, they push a physical update to the app, but not necessarily everybody has a new design. I'm not sure if that's a final design because there's no actual press release or announcements. So basically, I got the design. I was pretty lucky. I guess you did not get it, right?
No, I didn't get it.
Yeah. So basically, it's a new black and white theme for Instagram. So no more bluish frames or borders. It's all white, and the accent color is black. It's not exactly as the iOS guidelines and default stock visuals are, but it's pretty modern. Personally, I find it very nice. I like the way that they kept the branding very reminiscent of Instagram without keeping the colors. So it's pretty nice. There's no new features. There's no new tabs. It's basically the same thing. Your feed, search, take a photo, your notifications, and your multiple accounts if you have some. So what do you think about the the new design?
Well, I didn't get it, so I don't know.
You don't know, but from the pictures?
Yeah, from the pictures, I guess it's because I'm used to the old one, but it feels just plain and ordinary. I don't know. I like the blue. I like blue in general, so I like the Instagram blue.
I think it's like the last app with a old looking design we have in 2016.
Yeah.
Every other mainstream app has been refreshed, modernized, either following the iOS guideline or following the material design from Google. So basically, it's all modern. But this one is kind of like the last one that was standing still and not updating to a totally modern design. So this one's done. So
It changed a bit, if you remember, like the first Instagram.
yeah, with the leather stitch and everything.
Yeah, they've been going flatter and more towards iOS 7 styles, but I found it. I like the stock one we have now. Well, except for you, that has a new one.
Yeah, it was never an awful app. It was always pretty nice. I just like this new design, so hopefully you'll get it in the coming weeks.
I never heard of anybody else doing updates, but just for part of their user base on the phone, like on iOS apps.
I think Twitter did the same thing in the US only,
Okay.
but it was mostly for new ads or new engagement features. So they would roll out the features only for a subset of users just for a certain time and test the features like that, do some A/B testing with different users. That's why you have so many updates to your apps like Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, but they only say like keep your app updated, we do some nice stuff for you, but in the end you never know what the updates really are. But I think these are the updates that they do. They push new feature but only to some users and test them, and then when depending on the results they eventually implement it or release it at large.
Is there a way to send feedback or something?
I did not see anything for this Instagram version, so I'm guessing you just go on this website and you look for the feedback form. But on the app itself, there's no warning. There's no new splash screen. It's basically just you load the app. The funny thing is when you open the app, and if it was not sleeping, you get the actual splash screen from the old design, so the blue one, and then quickly it moves back to the black and white theme. So it really is just for some subset of user for sure.
I thought I read somewhere that it's not final and they're just testing, but I can't seem to find it on the Instagram blog or anything.
Yeah, that could be possible, but usually those kind of things are done in the US only. So I don't know. I don't know about this time.
Do you have your phone set up as region US? to get like Google, not Google News, but Apple News and stuff?
Yes, not anymore. Not anymore. I changed it back to Canada a while ago. Yeah, no, it's not in US, only Canada. So yeah, it's probably just a rollout at a few countries.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So we saw some kind of a leak. Not sure if it really is a leak or if it's just somebody that gathered all the rumors and put them in a paper form. It was published by a Japanese site Mac Otakara, which shared a picture of some kind of a, I don't know, with the specs design for a new iPhone.
It's like blueprints.
Yeah, kind of blueprints and a bunch of text around it, and some little dimensions, so the width, the height, the depth, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like specs.
Yeah, the specs, the physical specs. So basically, it's for the 5.5-inch model. So basically, an iPhone 6s Plus size device. But looking closer, the first thing that you see is that there's no 3.5 millimeters port. There's only Lightning and a speaker and a micro on the bottom part. On the top part, there seems to be either two holes or two screws or whatever. And on the backside, there's a big gap and something that says dual camera. And on the backside, there's 3 little dots, which are the smart connector, like on the iPad Pro.
But we see it on the upper left corner. You see a picture with only one camera.
Upper left picture. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the little square up there. Yes.
Yeah. So it almost looks like blueprints for like a case.
Yeah, you're right.
On the picture we see on the right side. It's weird.
Yeah, and there's a big mention there, iPhone Pro.
Yeah.
Which triggered kind of something I thought of recently. Over the years, Apple product line started from having like a Pro and a consumer level device, and basically that was it, and eventually got more complicated. And for iOS device, we had only an iPhone, then we had an iPad, then an iPad mini, and now we have everything like iPad mini, 2 sides of iPad Pros. We got 2 iPhones plus the iPhone SE. I thought, okay, so it's looking at the design that the iPad Pro 9.7 inch has, which is basically an iPad Air 2. I'm thinking you cannot call the future iPad Air the iPad Air 3 because it does not have any Air feature that the rest of the line does not have. So I'm thinking it's a perfect timing to just drop this adjective and just call it the iPad. You got 2 iPad Pros with the size, like they do with the MacBook Pros. And the iPhone, it's also time to probably drop the Plus and use the Pro, because with the different updates over the years, the plus size iPhone always had more features. Better camera, bigger screen, of course, bigger battery. And if we follow these rumors, probably a smart connector and a dual camera. So basically, this would be the perfect timing to just rename the product the iPhone 7 Pro. What do you think?
I think it works. I'm looking at the article you wrote here and little summary at the end there. The lineup, it works.
Yeah, I think it's more streamlined, it's more focused, and for somebody that is not maybe in the know as we are, it's much more clear. Do you want an iPad or a Pro version? What does the Pro give you? More features. Okay, fine. You want an iPhone or an iPhone Pro? What's the difference? Again, more features, more high-end stuff, a bigger price tag, of course. And if you want something a bit retro, you got the iPhone SE.
Retro.
Yeah. Well, it's been 2 years, so you can call it a retro.
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna do with the smart connector? I was just thinking, like they're not gonna put a keyboard like they do on the iPad Pro.
No, and it would not fit because the iPad has the connector on the hinge, which is a rounded,
right?
Yeah, connector to fit like a smart cover. So that would not fit for sure.
Can they power like battery cases that would charge from the smart connector port instead of the Lightning?
I think they can because the keyboard uses that to power itself.
Right.
So, and they also have like a big section on their website where they explain that they had to do a special type of circuit that is super small, super thin, and flexible to go all the way through the smart keyboard. So I'm thinking, yes, they can probably do something that can power the iPhone. So think of a battery case like the Mophie, or just a smart battery case that Apple makes. instead of being docked and adding a substantial piece of fabric at the bottom, you can have something that is not higher, not wider than the iPhone itself, and give you the battery that is just on the back.
Yeah, the case won't need a chin like they have on the Mophie Power Packs things.
Exactly. And also any other accessories that needs data. So I'm guessing any camera case that is prosumer type. There's a bunch on the market that have very nice lens. There's one, I don't remember the name. It's something pro. It's the case and the lens are like $300. So it's great, but it's not like unbelievable. So I'm thinking if you can add like a shutter button for that, or probably like more dials that can talk to the iPhone, so you can have some interaction over there. Yeah, so that's basically it for now. What else? Maybe medical device. Let's say you want to take your blood pressure. You strap
the band
the band on your arm, and this can connect to the iPhone with the iPhone docked on the band itself. That can be it.
or a charging mat, so you just put your phone on a mat and it charges.
Yes.
Like kind of inductive charging, but through the using the smart connector.
Yeah, with some kind of magnetic clutch that grabs it. So yeah, that can be it. There's something that came out today, I think, was it? Yeah, today. Apple released a new Apple Music API. So we already have an API for searching the App Store, but this one is much more powerful. It's actually giving you the possibility to have more features in your app. So, for example, see if a user is currently an Apple Music subscriber. You can also see the country that the user is based in. You can queue up the next song, or you can fetch a song by the song ID. You can also play with playlists. So a bunch more features. Being Apple, they also provide the best practice. So how can a developer integrate the features in their apps? So that's if you ever wanted to do some kind of an app that has not necessarily replacing the music app, but maybe discovery.
Something social too, like a social media network around the music, the iTunes music.
Yeah, this will help greatly. So, and also for affiliates. So if you're selling Apple Music, you can actually send the visitor directly to the song you want in either Apple Music or the iTunes Store. So now you can actually specify where you want him to go. And using the geolocation, you can probably get the money in the proper currency. So, and the user does not end up in the wrong country.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Also, just a few minutes before the show, Apple finally released CareKit. So what is CareKit? It's a framework that you can add to your app, and that will allow you to use a beautiful customizable modules. So you can track care plans, you can monitor the progress of your patients or the after surgery care that they have to do. And also you can share their insights with the care teams that you are managing. So basically what they were explaining in the previous conference, now it's actually released. The code is on GitHub, which is also a nice thing. Apple tends to put lots of stuff on GitHub recently, so it's pretty nice. Something weird is it's not under Apple, it's under App CareKit Apple. So I don't know why the change of user.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they could have put it under Apple like they do with Swift.
Right.
Is there something else under Apple except the package manager?
No, I think that's it. LLVM is not under, I'm not sure.
Swift LLDB, Swift LLVM, Swift Evolution. So it's basically only Swift stuff and a bunch of examples. Yeah, and the cups. Yeah, that's it. And the rest is there's nothing else there. And there is 57 people working under this repository. And for CareKit, there's a total of 0%. So for the first time, we have a brand new corner this week. Last week, I introduced this new corner saying that this week, for sure, we will talk about coffee. We are both coffee nerds, but we kept having too much news to talk about coffee. So this week, it's a bit more quiet. So coffee corner. So we'll start with something simple. How do you drink your coffee? At home or at work?
Black.
not ruined, like you say,
No, unruined.
unruined.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do? Like drip coffee, espresso?
At work, we have an espresso machine, so Americanos, or just double shot espressos.
Mm-hmm.
And at home, it's AeroPresses.
Okay. So at work we have also a big machine, but yours is manual, right?
Right.
Yeah. Ours is automatic, fully automatic. So basically, what I do is I cheat the system. Whenever I have a coffee or an espresso, there's always a kind of a backwash that goes in the machine to clear the tubes. So that disgusting water, I just take my my cup away. I let it drip, and then when it really starts to come out real coffee, then I put it back. So be it for a ristretto, an espresso, or when I do a cappuccino, I do the same thing, but I do an extra shot of ristretto. So I have like a double shot and some foamy milk. So that's at work. At home, I have a bunch of machines because I'm crazy like that. Let me just enumerate them. I've got a classic French press from Bodum. I've got an Espro press from a company in Vancouver here, which is basically a French press but in a vacuum emptied stainless steel container and double net. So whenever you filter the coffee, you have less grit at the bottom. I have a hand presso, which is a kind of a manual pump espresso machine that you can bring with you like in camping or outside. I have a rock, which is a vertically yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a manual espresso machine. So basically you put water in, you put your portafilter, and then you use your strength to lower two levers on each side, which will create a pressure and infuse your coffee. And what do I? And I have also an AeroPress, and I think that is it. Yeah, that is it.
You don't have like a K cup or anything?
No, I had one for a review, but K cups I always had a problem. It tastes like plastic every time. I even tried that some friend of mine who has one for like 2-3 years, and even after all these years, it still tastes a bit of plastic. And for me, if you take your coffee and you choose your coffee to have some good taste, it's always like either too watery or too plasticky. So I ended up getting rid of it. So, and I don't have any espresso machine at home, like electric. It's all manual stuff. So basically, my rock, I use it for ristrettos, because if you put too much water, the just after like the dark part, the blonde part is so short that you eventually just get like water. So I put like let's say there's like a line that says fill it up to here. I put like basically half of it. So I do a ristretto like that. The hand presso still works pretty fine. I even have the little the screw-on filter, which has like less holes, so that water and pressure stays on the coffee longer. So basically, it tastes better. And what I usually do, basically, this is just for like when I feel fancy. But for the regular days, it's AeroPress and my Espro press in the morning. It's the big one, so I can do like a double coffee in there.
Okay, you're way ahead of me in your coffee game.
Yeah, well, it's been a few years that I've been reviewing coffee machines for my other blogs. So, yeah, I have a few of those. And I'm trying to get my hands on a real espresso machine. I have my eyes on the Lilith brand, which is an Italian brand. It looks pretty nice. And the machines are kind of a retro 50s look. So I'm in talks with them at the moment. So we'll see what we can do.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have an espresso machine too.
Yeah, true. You're right. Your future wife loves it.
Yeah, I use it for just like if I'm really in a rush. We have the Intenso or whatever, the strongest they have there, the dark coffee.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Cool. So that's it for the coffee corner for this week. If you ever have feedback, if you want to talk about some special coffee, if you have subjects related to coffee, we're always ready to talk about those. So bring them on.
So this week we have a new social network of the week. It's a new app called Talk Show. So you start a show. It's like a public text message conversation. So each show has hosts. You can add as many hosts as you want, and people can subscribe and just watch your conversation. and you can react to the conversation by liking, or I think there's a bunch of emojis, probably stickers are going to come soon like they have in WhatsApp and all that. So it's basically like Telegram, what we were talking about I think a week or two ago.
So, but it's like it looks a lot like the iMessage app, but
Right.
it's more of a let's have a discussion, but open to the public. Okay. Yeah, and I think you even started a discussion for Hipster Pixel. Uh, I tried this morning the app. I was not able to find my friends. I was not able to load my contacts. So basically, I just looked up your name and added you, but that's it. So they had some problems with that. They're saying that they're using the Fabric tools from Twitter to look up your address book, but the button was not doing nothing when I was pressing it. So they probably have some kinks to fix.
Yeah, they said it was inspired by someone, well, one of the founders or developers, I don't know. He saw a post on Instagram or something of Taylor Swift screenshotting a conversation she had with like Ed Sheeran or another famous pop star, and that's where he got the idea of, oh, let's have an app for celebrities to have conversations in public. I don't know if it's like, when would you use it? You have to say, oh, this I want everybody to see it, so I'll go in talk show and write it in talk show, and we'll follow the discussion there. And if I want to say something like more private, I switch back to iMessage or whatever other app you're using to chat.
It's just another broadcast channel. Like some stars prefer Facebook, other prefer Twitter. So it's what does this one bring to the table that is novel and different? I can't tell. I haven't used it yet.
It's red instead of blue.
It's red, yeah, yeah. but since it looks like an iMessage conversation, maybe they're aiming for something that is familiar and not scary, not too funky like like Snapchat, which is totally different in terms of functionality. So I don't know. It's a nice idea. We'll see if it sticks or if it goes away like a bunch of the other ones.
Yeah, because we had Swell or whatever.
Yeah, swell. I still got an email from them this week, so they're not dead, but it feels it really feels more like a type of these survey companies that send you like a survey to do. It takes like half an hour and you get like 10 points, and if you get like 1,000 points you get $5. So basically you spend many hours for nothing. Well, this Swell app looks like it's basically that. You just like vote on thing and they gather the data and sell it to the marketer. So I don't know. It does not feel like a social networks per se. You don't have interaction except that you just say A or B and
Yeah,
stuff.
you pick top or bottom.
Anyways. Yeah, exactly. So Telegram, I don't know why it's still there. We use it. We have a channel for that. If you want to follow us there, you can see the new posts are posted automatically. And sometimes I post some pictures of future gadget I'm going to review or basically news. I don't think we should go over Telegram in detail. Basically, it's a messaging app. It uses some strong encryption. You can have secret chats. I know ISIS loves it. So basically, it's a nice app with some nice features. And now they have even bots, so you can create bots. I tried to create one. It's pretty awful, so I will not share it. And yeah, that's basically it. I found another app this week that was pretty nice. On the Mac, you can use what's it called? There's an app that you can use to convert your videos into GIFs. It works pretty well. It's very fun to use. On iOS, though, there were no similar app that was as easy or as fun to use. So this one just came out. It's called GIF Story. You basically select a video, or you just record some bit of video, either by holding the button down, which is recording frames, or you can just tap the button and it'll capture frame by frame. So basically, you can have like some things happening, and if you hold your button down, you'll get it in real time. But if you tap with some delay, the action will go faster in your animation. So it's a pretty nice and easy way to capture something. And they have a bunch of filters and other tools to edit. So it's pretty cool. I highly recommend this one. This one is paid app. It's a 99 cents app. So basically 139 in Canada, 99 cents in the US. Right now it has a bunch of ratings, like 4.5 out of 5. So people seems to like it. And if you want, there's a bunch of in-apps purchase you can buy. So a bunch of packs to give you more effects, more filters. So, yep, pretty nice. I also discovered a new app for Reddit. This one actually is, I'm pretty sure it's not so new. It's called Beam. It's a Reddit client that looks a lot like the official client. But I'm thinking that Beam was actually released before the official client. So what happened is that there was this Alien Blue was made by some guy, and I think that Reddit purchased it, and for a few months they were rebuilding it in-house, and the day that they actually released the official client, they pulled the Alien Blue client. But at the same time, there was some other client, which is called Beam, which looks very nice. It's very fun to navigate. I think it removes a bit of the complexity of Reddit for people that are not used to it. So I really like it. It's made by, I actually found this one while browsing Instagram. Instagram has some accounts that are sharing like nice office pictures, and one of them was from a company that has nice office. And I was curious, and I looked at their product, and they were actually making mobile apps, and that was one of them. So
The version 1.0 was posted on November 17th of 2014.
okay, so it was way, way, way before the new client that came out like a few weeks ago from Reddit. So yeah, Beam was there before.
And there's also Narwhal that's popular, I think.
Yes, I used it once, but I did not get hooked on this one. So I preferred Alien Blue at that time.
I don't understand Reddit. Well, I do, but I don't understand the hype. I don't know.
Well, it's reminiscent of the old forums when you were actually reading those like in HTML mode without any pictures and stuff like that. So you could just get like basic text and sub text. So it's I don't know. I'm not that into Reddit. I go on it for mechanical keyboards, but I'm not a super user of that network. And the last app, which I was running since we started the podcast tonight, it's called Umo. It's an app that analyzes your speech and gives you tips and also tricks on like how do you
your speech patterns and all that.
Yeah, so basically I wanted to stop it, but I can't because it crashed. So it stopped at 19 minutes, and we were now recording for 35 minutes. So basically, yep, the app is broken. So basically what it does is once you stop recording, it gives you kind of a summary of what was your pace, how many words per minute were you talking, did you use like stop words like not stop words, sorry, filter words like actually, basically, stuff like that, and also a bunch of other metrics to take your speaking
to the next level.
Yeah, to the next level, exactly. So it would have been fun to see the results while I was talking, but we can't.
When I'll edit the podcast, I'll take a tally of all the words you say.
Oh yeah, you will do that?
Yeah. I'm that nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So I just want to go back to my iPad review I did last week, which was more of a summary of sorts.
Yeah, because last time you had it for a day or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you had a real week with it?
Yeah, exactly. I use it at work, at home. I let my kid draw with it, so I can go over the features in more details.
I thought you were going to say, I let my kid drop it.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, no more iPad. Yeah, so basically, pretty nice machine. In terms of performance, I was expecting some noticeable boost. Just because we are used by Apple that every new generation is substantially faster than the previous one. By comparison to an iPad Air 2, I did not see much performance difference, so I was a bit sad for that. Nonetheless, it works very well. The extra memory is very fun. You can have lots of tabs. They're still open. I had something open from last week that was still in Safari, so that's cool. The case itself, it's an iPad Air 2, so it's basically what you were expecting. The keyboard itself, the smart keyboard, I like what Apple did. Having this design is interesting. They tried their maximum to shorten non-essentials keys. That means that the shift keys, the function keys are all very small in order to keep the main letters and numbers keys regular size. Uh, Even with that, even the effort they put in that, it's still too small for me. My fingers are actually touching themselves while I type, so I keep on doing some typos, so I don't really like it. So for a quick message, a quick Slack, it's perfect. But for writing full length articles, I don't recommend it. If you really want this kind of keyboard, you should probably look into the big iPad Pro version, which looks weird with a small iPad on it, but at least you'll get the full size keyboard. So that's my recommendation. The keyboard itself holds via a smart cover type connection with the smart connector. Um, it's it's strong enough, I would say, most of the time. A couple of times it got removed a bit too easily, in my opinion. So don't trust it to pick it up by the keyboard and leave your iPad dangling. I wouldn't recommend that. That's not strong enough. Um, then I'm moving to the Apple Pencil. I really like the design. It's a bit too slippery, so I would recommend getting either some kind of a decal on it. I know some people got those that look like an actual like a wooden pencil. So the look is nice, and also you get the better grip. Um, I know they had to do it this big in terms of battery and components, but I find the pencil itself to be a bit thick in my hand. I would have preferred something slimmer, probably the Apple Pencil 2 next year or 2 in 2 years. But it itself on the screen works very fine. I really like the precision it gives. It's not perfect. There is a Microsoft research video that explains the latency when writing with a pencil or a finger on a screen. Basically, they show you what is 100 milliseconds, 50 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds, and 1 millisecond. And you can see that 1 millisecond is so fast that the drawing is never late. It's always on par with the exact millimeter where your finger or pencil is. The iPad Pro is not at this level yet. Um, Therefore, when you draw, you can see that there's a little lag sometimes. And sadly, depending on the apps, if they implemented the most recent APIs and if they implemented well, you can see some difference. So some apps you see a bigger lag, some apps it's a shorter lag. But in the end, right now, it's the best you can get. You can get anything else that is as good as this pencil. One thing I would recommend though is if you can and if you want, I'm not usually a fan of screen protectors, but in this specific case, if you use the iPad for drawing, there are some screen protectors that have a matte finish for which when you draw, you would actually feel like more of a rough texture, paper-like texture. So I would try this. I'm thinking it should work. I don't think that there should be a problem with that, but that was something I would probably try to see if I can mimic more the feeling of a paper. Because right now when you draw, it's like writing on ice. It's going everywhere, so it's not perfect for that. What else? Yeah, basically it's an iPad. It's a great iPad. I love the features, the pro features. The screen is nice. The True Tone really makes a difference. I was skeptic at first, and because it's not like Night Shift that you actually enable it and you see it like very dramatically. It's very more. It's a lot more subtle, and you realize it is there when you actually change your eyes from this screen to another screen that is not True Tone. So you can see right away that the other screens are like bluish and they are kind of irritating to your eyes. The True Tone is perfect. The colors are great. So yeah, basically the best screen I could see. Highly recommend the iPad Pro. Now I want the 12.9 just for fun. So just because it's bigger, I'll probably try to get my hands on one for fun.
I've played with the pencil just in the store, so not more than 15 minutes at a time, and it's really cool and everything. It's a nice thing to have, but unless you're an artist or something and you like drawing, what do you use it for? Do you use it for your navigations? Do you use it to take notes in class if you're a student, or take notes at work or whatever?
There is at least one app called Pen Ultimate, which I think has some kind of character recognition when you write. So, and also I think I saw something go by today. Was it on Six Colors? I think it was on Six Colors. Some app that actually does the character recognition like they did in the Newton times. So,
like on the Palm Pilots.
Yeah, Palm Pilots or the Newton. Yeah, so unless you're an artist or you really like to draw, or if you really like to do scribbles and stuff like that, the pencil is not required. But if you need it, it's a nice device. So if you're getting the iPad Pro because of like the features it has, you kind of have to get a pencil with it, because why else are you getting the iPad Pro, especially the 9.7 inch? You know, if you want the big screen, then you have no choice. But if you want like a compact iPad to take with you, the iPad Pro 9.7, you can get either a keyboard and or a pencil or both.
Do you use the pencil to navigate the menus and just the...
If I have the pencil in my hand and I want to click somewhere, yes. But I will not pick up the pencil just to navigate.
Okay.
So I'm still using my fingers. But yeah, because all the controls are pretty big on iOS, so it's not like it's hard to navigate or...
Yeah, especially on an iPad.
Yeah, it's pretty easy there.
Do you use the... I guess it'd be nice to use the pencil if you're like annotating.
Annotating.
Yeah, if you're annotating like notes in class or doing math or taking notes with drawings and everything.
Yeah, what I did is I had some reading to do for work, and I opened Goodreader, I loaded a PDF, and I used it to highlight in yellow part of the text. So that was good because with the pencil you have precision, so it was easy to start at one specific word and drag to somewhere else. So that went very well. Like you say, if you have a document and you want like a scribble in the margin something or highlight or circle, that's perfect. So for work, well, for class, if you're at school, it's, I would say, top of the line. For work, if you have to refer to yourself to documents a lot, it would also be worth it. But for home, if you're not a drawer, somebody that draws, it's just expensive for nothing.
It's just a cool feature, and like the heartbeat on the watch is just a show thing that you show to your friends when you're demoing the product, but you actually never use.
Yeah, if you don't have any use for it, no. Like, I know for the watch, if you do lots of training, lots of sports stuff, yes, it's useful to have your heartbeat. You can use that data for something. But for anybody else, having the heartbeat is just like a novelty you can show your friends. Like the drawings, when you send messages.
How's it called again? Tap.
The dick drawings. Sorry, it's late.
No, it's called something. What's the name?
I'm so bad with names. Yeah, this thing. All right, so this is it for this week. It was a short episode. I don't know the total time because we had a few laughs, so probably around half an hour. You can find the show notes on hipsterpixel.co/RGB/8. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can find us on hipsterpixel.co/RGB. There's an email there, which is podcast@hipsterpixel.co. You can use the hashtag RGB podcast. You can reach us on Twitter. My handle is Vallier, VALLIERES.
And I'm Tyler Menard, TYLERMENARD.
Right on. So have a nice week and talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week.
Ciao.
Bye.